Hello, Fass, Michelle speaking. Have you taken anything right now? I'm going to get our crisis worker to talk to you, okay?
We have sexual abuse, we have divorce, we have bereavement is a huge one. Give me anything that life throws at you that's incredibly difficult, and I'll give you somebody trying to take away that pain with either drugs, alcohol, prescription medication, or all of them in some cases.
Okay, hold the line there. Right, don't go anywhere.
Someone's got something wrong with them physically, a broken arm, broken leg, you can see it, but you can't see what's inside people's heads, and people are frightened to talk about what's inside their head.
Hiya, Lorraine, I have Helen on the line here. She's just talking about killing herself.
The health and well-being of the nation should have been looked at and should have been planned, so that we actually started to treat those people from day one when the Good Friday Agreement was signed. The legacy of that then is that we have ended up with a big alcohol consuming population, big benzodiazepines, big prescribed medication consuming population, and now we're seeing a big illicit drug use population.
Are you there? Helen? Helen? Are you there?
Are you Thomas?
Yeah.
Hiya, nice to meet you. I'm Hannah.
All right.
Hiya. Drug screen this afternoon then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
FASA, the Forum for Action on Substance Abuse, deals with the human fallout from drug and alcohol dependency.
It's just a small part of the jaw.
So, isn't it tested positive for benzodiazepines?
FASA supports anyone in need. It was the first community-based charity here to offer support for substance abuse, suicide, self-harm and mental health under the one roof.
Do you think he's suicidal, or?
Their doors are open to anyone who asks for their help. And through the work of FASA staff, we gained a unique perspective on the frontline battle against substance abuse in Northern Ireland.
Hello, Sharon. Sharon, my name's Alex. I work for FASA. We've had a call from Ian this morning, and he's not in a good place. Basically, he's saying he's going to take his own life.
This is just to remind me what I have to do, and the order I have to do, and the times and things like that there. So.
James is a community support worker. If there's something happening on the ground, he'll be one of the first people to know. The intelligence he gathers is vital ammunition in the battle to save lives.
We have to be able to work with any section of the community, and because we're dealing with drugs and alcohol, and we're dealing with community safety issues, we're dealing with some social issues that people don't like to actually see that's in their communities, they have to be able to trust that we're doing the right thing. You doing a runner?
One of the communities James works closely with has asked him to assess the level of substance abuse in their area.
Should have been in the community house?
The community house only opens from 9 to 12, love. Why?
No, I'm looking for markets. We're assessing and monitoring what the issues are. If we fail to do this, we may miss something that's actually quite important and could actually potentially kill people. It's a lot tidier than the last time I was up. I mean, there's not as much land about.
It's only lately that all night long I said, and it was terrible. Then the police came round, and then paramilitary shifted them, and
Yeah.
So it's glad to bump into there.
Eddie is a community worker and has serious concerns about the drug paraphernalia lying around.
This is bad up here. This has been even worse than we went the last time. Is that the stuff that you can buy? Is it?
It's so they've
says our
you have evidence
research chemical powder.
Legal highs, so that's your China white. Legal highs are research chemicals that have been put in place to actually replicate existing drugs. It could be cannabis, could be cocaine, things like that. These are diarrhea tablets. So these have been either bought or stolen from a local shop.
So they must be using the powder to fill the capsules.
James suspects the capsules are being split, the powder inside used as a bulking agent, mixed with legal highs, put back in the capsules, then sold as an illicit drug.
This is different.
James has never come across such a concoction before.
So these have all been used.
There's a whole box of Imodium went off the shelf.
Oh my goodness.
That's off the shelf. That wasn't bought. That's been.
There's a couple £100 sitting there alone. This is it's an outside factory. We don't want this to escalate. We want to try and stop this before it actually escalates out of something that's out of control.
Fassa is concerned the find could be the start of a new drug trend. James's boss, Alex, recommends they alert the Public Health Agency.
See the drug dealers with a greed, you know, putting toxic substances in just to bulk it up, not caring about, you know, is this going to kill people taking this or not? And then the young people are, you know, indestructible. It'll never happen to me, it won't be me.
The Public Health Agency will assess whether the risk merits a public health warning.
We are now in a new environment of how people misuse and use substances. And that's right across that range, from over-the-counter drugs right up to illicit drugs and alcohol.
Wouldn't be with it. Is it the herbal cannabis?
Polydrug misuse.
It doesn't smell like tobacco.
That combination of people being willing to take anything, wanting to take legal highs, combination drugs with prescribed medications, with alcohol, and don't see the added dangers.
Darren's on his way to meet a 21-year-old client. He's worried his substance abuse is spiralling out of control.
The roads are a bit skiddy today. When he first came to Fassa at the age of 15, his mother had found him using cannabis. He went through some of the motions 6 years ago, but he wasn't really ready to make a change.
Tell us a wee bit about your alcohol and substance misuse over the last wee while. Yeah.
First thing I did was about 14, 15.
Yeah.
School, trying to be a big lad, everybody smoked dope. I'd drink, sniffing glue, sniffing aerosols, whatever. I took most of the drugs. Tried heroin, tried crack, tried most of them.
Decisions you make at the age of 15 really can impact the rest of your life.
What about opiates?
Lee's been doing his best to wean himself off alcohol and drugs, but a chaotic lifestyle has taken its toll on his mental health.
When we're thinking about the risk factors, I'll run through a couple of the headings. The first one is self-harm or suicidal behaviour. Would you have any history in that?
Yep.
Tell us a wee bit about it, Lee.
Self-harm, cutting wrists.
When was that?
Last one, about 6 months. Had suicide in hospital, done in hospital, so it was kind of...
I'm glad you didn't.
Glad myself.
Lee's drug habit has put a strain on the relationship with his mum and daughter. They're still in contact, but he's desperate to gain control of his addiction to repair the hurt he's caused.
This is a stepping stone now. This is the path where I take. Whereas whenever I was sitting with you 15 years of age, I went straight up half for drinking drugs.
You might be getting a wee bit of a glimmer that there is hope there.
There's hope there at the tunnel, but you have to get halfway to see it.
Fassa will work with Lee for as long as he needs their help.
That'll do. Thanks, Roberta. We need our energy.
We need to get going in the morning.
My first drink of alcohol was around about 9 years old. And my first times of solvent abuse was around about 10 years old. You can't be efficient machines without fuel.
Okay.
What put the sparkle back in your life? Was there a Fassa?
No, Fassa wasn't born yet. At the age of about sort of 15, 16, a youth worker came into my life and asked could I come up to the youth club and work behind their tuck shop and help them out. I thought, is this guy for real? You know, am I gonna nick all his Mars bars and steal all his money? But the fact that he showed that he believed in me was enough to start me on the tentative journey of starting to believe in myself again.
You draw around there for me. Yep.
FASA staff are trained professionals,
Why do you think people drink? Why do people drink?
Because they like to have fun.
but many draw on life experience to help them do the job.
What happened to me was my central nervous system started to shut down, and I got really, really, really ill. And it was through binge drinking.
You got a sore head. Is that why?
No, I didn't get a sore head. I started to get chest infections and pneumonia and things like that there. So I couldn't actually, my body couldn't actually fight off infections.
You're really lucky then.
Yeah. I got to a point where I was actually given 2 weeks to live. And that had a real major impact on my mental health. Where do you think the first place you would get it?
Your heart.
So when you're drinking, there was nobody there for me to speak to. Nobody. If you have somebody who's drinking quite a lot, and I don't want other people to have that same factor, that there's nobody there for them to speak to.
You can hard just stop.
Can actually give you bladder cancer.
Can
So you can get cancer in your bladder.
Need a bit of chocolate?
Lee is the loveliest fella you could meet. His decision making hasn't been the best over the years, but he's, at times you would imagine, he's his own worst enemy. Unfortunately,
Paul has just started volunteering with FASA.
it's much more than he did. And back then it wasn't all that
He'll be supervised by Darren.
eventually.
What are the issues that he's really dealing with now?
He has been popping a lot of diazepam. He's been taking a bit of Seroquel. He has been drinking a fair amount. As far as I know, he's still smoking a bit of cannabis.
Right.
And we're going to suggest looking at a reduction of his use.
Right.
We are going to suggest that he gives himself some goals so that he can get some small wins under his belt.
For him to make that radical change, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for him to slip and make a mistake and feel sorry for himself and then maybe go back to using.
Lee's been evicted from his hostel. There's been a complaint about antisocial behaviour, an accusation he denies.
So what's the crack, Lee? All good, all good. Had you been under the influence of anything? And you can remember everything really clearly?
Everything, yeah, everything.
How you doing? I'm Darren from FASA.
FASA's priority now is to bolster Lee's mental resilience so he doesn't give in to temptation.
If you're having cravings, keep yourself occupied. You know, think back of the negative places that drugs have got you to, and potentially think about the future, the steps you need to take now to stay out of trouble, to potentially get you back on track again, to have that wee life you wanted to have.
Yeah.
If you go back on the gear, if you lose control through alcohol or other drugs, then potentially that sets you right back again.
Yeah.
How does it feel when you hear a compliment?
A compliment?
You taking it right? I fear this evening he will probably do what many people do in Northern Ireland, which is self-medicate. You go back to what you know best. You go back to what you know kills the pain. You go back to what you know has worked for you in the past when things are difficult. I have a client I've been working with and he's found himself homeless. Could you potentially recommend me anywhere that he might be able to get his head down for this short period of time? He's going to be so low that the suicidal thoughts could be creeping in again. That's a fear that I'll be taking home with me this evening and be concerned about it as soon as I wake up in the morning. And that's just what comes with this job. There's a chance of a crash facility, which is a place just for this evening to get his head down. Not perfect, but it's better than the streets.
James has heard some rumours. The word on the street is that there have been a number of drug-related deaths in Belfast.
We are looking at a potential 6 deaths. So we have 1 in Sandy Row, 1 on the Shankill, 3 in East Belfast and 1 on the road. This is a new crisis that has came out of nowhere, and people will automatically link them. We need to make sure that who the people are talking to, that's not just rumour mongering. They've died quite suddenly, feeling really unwell, convulsions and potentially a heart attack.
There's obviously a potent stimulant in it.
There's a red rock star. It is actually supposedly ecstasy. There's a brown rock star which has heroin in it. The white one I think has coke in it.
Right. The police not being able to get any of the tablets to test them?
Not yet, no. It's very early days.
Yeah.
If there's something that we can do as a community organisation or as a partnership of organisations that would actually reduce the risks of further deaths, we need to investigate that.
There's no confirmation yet that the deaths are drug-related. FASA will work with a network of other agencies to help establish if there is a new lethal drug on the streets.
It's nice to get out of the office. It's nice to do something that's informal, where the client sometimes doesn't even realise that he's gone through a therapeutic session. So yeah, should be good fun.
Lee's now moved into a new hostel organised by FASA. This morning, Darren plans to help him set goals which will nudge him along the path of recovery.
So hopefully be up and fresh and ready for action.
Well,
what time do you call this?
Good morning.
Morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm good. In brief interventions, we're taking people through a process of helping them understand where they are at emotionally and with their drug habit.
Good shot.
And with their support structures and the risk factors in their life. So we're looking at a big picture.
Are you happy practicing?
What was it like yesterday with your daughter?
Brilliant.
Is there any comparison?
No.
Even just a 15-minute brief intervention can really nudge someone in a different direction. Oh, what a shot. So when you look back, of all the times when you've been drunk, of all the times when you've had any gear in your system, of all the highs that you've had through chemicals, no shot, sorry, compare that to the natural high of being with your daughter. Is there any comparison?
No.
We will work out how heavy is your drug use and what problems is it causing. You know, how hazardous has it become? Even from that, it's helping the client to work out maybe it's time to make a change. If a client's considering making a change, we'll help them to weigh up the pros and cons. And where you want to be is Worley.
All the things you get meant to do in life, instead of nothing about stealing, robbing, some facts, you know, anything to get money.
Yeah.
Just for your next drink or your next smoke of dope.
It's not only helping them to think about it, it's helping them to hear themselves saying it out loud. To actually hear that being said is enough for a client to say, you know, well, if that is the case, I might actually start doing something about it.
So Lee, this week then, goals?
No drink, no drugs. I'll keep at as one. Keep myself occupied throughout the week. Anything, as long as it's not in the wrong company.
FASA pride themselves in the fact that we work in a way that's totally non-judgmental. Who are we to judge anybody? We're just ordinary people like anyone else.
That's a nasty one.
Sometimes you have to give yourself a wee challenge to see if you can achieve something or not. You treat people with respect. You treat them the way you would like to be treated yourself, and you hold them in the highest regard you can. And through that, they might start believing in themselves.
What is it that drives you?
I suppose the big thing is that you want to see, you know, in my heart, I want to see this guy making it.
There'll be one I'm going to his funeral this morning because he's linked in with all the other ones that we're working with over there.
It's been confirmed one of the deaths is drug-related.
All the things that I have planned over the next couple of days have to be cancelled and moved about, and we need to clarify exactly what we're going to be doing.
FASA and other agencies are working round the clock to help establish if there is a new lethal drug on the streets.
Hello, I am looking for Eddie.
For the moment, the public are unaware.
How you doing? We've been given across information around a specific drug that could potentially be harmful and we're trying to tie it down to see if we need to be giving out an alert. They're very irregular, all different shapes, all different sizes. They're saying that they're actually crushing and sniffing them. A bit stressed at the moment, to be honest with you. Just had a chat with local inspector in East Belfast. We need to build up this information so if there is the need for a drug alert to go out from the Public Health Agency, that we do that as soon as possible. How you doing? Listen, what time is the funeral? At just 1:45.
For now, James is taking time out to pay his respects at the funeral of one of the young men who died.
How unusual is this crisis scenario at the moment?
Very, very unusual. It's just about harm reduction. It's about reducing the harm that's out there. We're not going to be able to clean the street, but we're going to be able to at least give people an educated choice. What we are worried about is that there may be further deaths. Perfect. So it was just starting there, you know what I mean? You're seeing so many young people, so many young lads and young girls, all kind of the prime of life, and they're sitting and they've lost somebody really, really close to them. Just as it was coming away, we had been given kind of some drugs that had been handed in off the street. There's a lot of flakes and things through it, so we're believing it is a bit of a concoction of stuff, but at least it's off the street, whatever it is. It reinforces the importance of doing what we do.
Good morning, Vasa Wilma speaking. How may I help you?
Happy days.
May I ask who's coming, please?
It's not possible to connect the call. Please try again later. Sometimes you've got to turn the phones off for strategic moments.
Sometimes, yeah.
Darren and Paul were due to meet Lee, but he's gone missing.
I'll give him a ring. See if we can... It's certainly a setback. It's something that I hadn't planned for, but it's something that happens on a regular basis.
What is it that keeps you so positive?
I don't know. I guess that for me it's the experience of seeing so many people coming through and knowing that they can make it.
Okay. I'm just going to try and pop you through to the crisis
More than
team.
80% of clients say they've reduced their intake or cut out substance abuse after working with FASA.
Margaret, my name is Paul. How can I help you?
Hello, is that Lee? It's Darren here. Where are you? Down in the hostel? Yeah? I was a wee bit worried after hearing you were away at that party and everything. I've, in my diary, kind of penciled it in already with the hope that you would be free. 2:30 this Friday. Okay, chum. Well, I'll see you on Friday, Lee. That'll do. Take it easy. Bye-bye. It's all good.
Alex is testing the white powder James was given at the funeral.
Just see if we can get an initial reading, James. Well, this is a multi-drug test, so basically it tests stimulant drugs like cocaine, amphetamine, and then we have depressant and hallucinogenic drugs like cannabis, and then you have opiates, as well as benzodiazepines. So it's a depressant. But they would be the most prevalent ones that you would be testing for. So it's not positive for cocaine, amphetamines, cannabis, or opioids, but it is for benzos.
The test isn't sophisticated enough to pinpoint what's in the powder.
That's why they're so chunky.
You have cocaine, amphetamine.
It will have to be sent off for forensic testing. It could take months before FASA finds out if it's linked to the killer drug.
Is it diazepam?
Or is it could still be illegal high?
Collectively, we could do more. I think we need a fast testing facility where we can actually test substances. Well, it is possible, but it's slow.
Give me a wee second. Hold on a wee second. Just hello. Could you ask where he's from?
FASA continues to pass on key community intelligence.
Hello. Glenn, I'll get back to you. It's the PSNI on for me, okay? We have a couple that we're getting information across from. They're talking about this hallucinogenic effect of them. You know, obviously we're thinking that that potentially would be your link.
Hi, this is Paul from FASA for picking up Lee.
Okay. Paul, Lee said he's not feeling too well. He's lying in bed.
Okay, so he doesn't want to do it today?
No.
All right, tell him I'll give him a call later.
Okay.
All right, thanks. One of the things that people do when they're dealing with addiction is to make promises that they really can't keep, but they feel like that's what they have to do for other people. It's just part of the game, you know. We can't force anyone into recovery. It's definitely, you know, the old saying, they have to hit rock bottom. And if they're not there yet, they're just going to continue to do what they do until they really need help. And when they need help, you see the dedication.
No sign of Lee?
Nah, he didn't even come out to the door.
Put into the mix the chaos that people can live when they're having substance misuse issues and confidence issues and mental health issues and all of that mixed together. For me to hope that someone's going to attend religiously for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever it may be without failing, you know, I'd be a fool to believe that's the way it's going to be for everybody.
The PSNI has asked James to help assess drug use in Belfast city centre.
Straight away, I mean, there you go, there's packets of legal high just there. It's fairly stinking in there, I would watch. Oh, herbal haze, it's one of the common ones we're seeing in city centre.
Drugs are being taken openly, just a stone's throw from shoppers.
The usual research chemical infused potpourri on the back of that.
And there's evidence illegal drugs are being mixed with legal highs.
Say the 14-year-old buying this in one of the shops.
So we're starting to wonder, you know, is this as a result of mixing the drugs as we talked about?
As they approach Belfast Cathedral Quarter, James and the police officer find drug paraphernalia casually discarded.
DDA, don't trust anyone.
Again, you can see like commercially available pipes that you can get in the area. Don't get involved and stuff's not involving you, lads.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're a cop, I know you too.
I don't care any cop.
What do you mean? You don't know me.
You're a cop?
You've seen how they reacted when they seen police there.
Yeah.
When we initially started dealing with antisocial behaviour in this area, the kids were generally fairly compliant with us. And see now, this has just escalated to a stage where there's complete disregard for police.
Yeah.
That's a new one, we haven't seen that one now.
FASA's concerned casual drug use is being fuelled by easy access to legal highs sold in shops in the city centre.
There's a source here within the city where is actually attracting those young people too. It's not to say that all legal highs are coming from those shops, but it's a direct access to our young people. And it's an availability to our young people that we would be concerned about.
All right, buddy. You want to play house up?
After missing an appointment, Lee has re-engaged with FASA, but he's on edge.
Well, you only bite your tongue for so long before you bite it off.
But
Lee reveals he hasn't yet taken the medication his doctors prescribed to help reduce his anxiety.
As soon as I get my medication, the night it will happen.
Yeah.
If I didn't get it, that was back to square one.
You think so?
Oh, I'd have got medication today. I'd have been the night. I'd have been straight away drinking drugs. Like,
yeah.
Straight away.
How do you know that?
Because that's the reason why I'm not drinking drugs, because I'm on the medication.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that, it would be drinking drugs, because there's nothing there to give me that feeling that I like, that I want, you know.
Was there ever a time before drinking drugs that you were like a happy young kid?
I haven't felt normal in years.
Yeah. When you say normal, what do you mean by normal?
Sober.
Right.
It's been 4 days since speculation began about the drug deaths.
Could you send it to me by email? Email? Okay. All right, no bother. The Chief Medical Officer's released the statement.
Behind the scenes, agencies like FASA have provided intelligence resulting in a public health warning.
I'm writing to highlight information in relation to a number of recent incidents, including sudden deaths in the Belfast area, which may be drug-related. While details are limited at this stage, it appears that a number of unmarked white tablets, which are believed to be ecstasy, but have not yet been tested, may have been involved along with alcohol. So it's not deviating from anything that we're saying, basically.
The media is going to pick up on it very, very quickly. So we need to ensure that people have contact numbers and helpline numbers. So if they are worried about something they have taken, or if they're worried about, you know, their son or their daughter or whatever, you know, that there is that help there, and that needs to get out there as soon as we can.
So am I going to say coloured and white pills, James? Yeah.
Coloured and white pills.
Anyone needing help or support should contact FASA, and you have the other numbers and names of the other organisations.
How unusual is this?
In terms of Northern Ireland, it's quite unusual. I mean, from FASA's perspective, yes, we have drug-related deaths consistently throughout the year. You know, people dying from alcohol misuse or polydrug misuse, taking other drugs. But when you get something that's actually a distinct risk to the public, which is, you know, one pill, which is potentially fatal, that's quite unique.
Okay. These here are referrals. People that present at A&E with 7 suicidal ideation or having had a overdose.
I had a phone call about 15 minutes ago. There was a member of the public just asking, have you heard about dodgy ecstasy coming through? Okay. And I says, look, I can't say anything concrete, but we've heard sort of rumours and stories, and it would take autopsies and, you know, and inquests and everything before we could say for definite what's been going on with some of the deaths we've heard about.
Yeah.
But as soon as we hear anything, we'll have it up on our website. So that Chief Medical Officer information needs to go up pretty quickly.
We're going to do that. We've just got a statement from East Belfast as well.
Brilliant.
Hello. Hi. How are you things? Yes, go on ahead. Yep. They have just confirmed a death in the country, linked into some of the information that we give around green Rolexes. What he said was they're probably at the point where they could release another public warning around that specific drug. Hello?
Oh, hi, James.
It is indeed, yes.
Hello, it's Tara Mills from the BBC.
Tara, hello, how you doing?
8 deaths have now been confirmed as drug-related.
Could we possibly interview you straight after you've done the programme, just on camera, so we can have it pre-recorded?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
A second public health warning is issued.
Camera 1, sorry.
Up to 8 people are thought to have died from taking drugs they mistakenly thought were ecstasy tablets.
It's a really sinister development then.
It is. It's a growing, real growing fear that we have. You know what I mean? Some of the, even the tablets that we're talking about, you know what I mean, can still go on to Facebook.
FASA has started lobbying for a public awareness campaign about the dangers of mixing drugs.
There's a lot of rumours floated about social media and social networks. So
They're meeting community activists on both sides of the political divide to gather intelligence that could kickstart the need for a campaign.
I think I'm concerned about the normalisation of the smoking the cannabis on a daily basis, because in many ways they're shrinking into themselves. They're escaping from real life and they don't realise the long-term consequences.
I've worked with kids starting to take drugs at younger and younger ages now, maybe 9, 10 years of age. They're starting to experiment where a few years ago it would have been 13, 14, maybe 15 before they were starting them. And you start off, say, all I'm going to take is a wee bit of blow. And then once you do, you're very, very easily influenced to take whatever else comes along. And they get to the stage where they just don't care what they take.
The feedback that we're getting, and what seems to be the issue, is that, you know, the drug taking population are taking multiple drugs on one evening, and it's crossing over from alcohol and prescription medication to illicit drugs, and then, you know, the introduction now of legal highs coming into play. Is this something that you are seeing on the ground?
One of the problems that we constantly come across is the lack of knowledge on the ground in our communities. There's parents out there who don't know what to look for, who don't understand the changing nature as to how these sort of illegal and legal highs impact on communities.
A lot of people think that these legal highs are a watered down form of illicit drugs, or a copy which is not as bad. You've seen some of these kids.
I never saw anything like them.
Potent. I mean, it's really, it's equally, if not stronger, than some of the illicit drugs that's on the market, and has effects and side effects which, you know, I have never seen or come across before.
Very, very frightening. And really, legislation just doesn't meet the need of the hour. And
quite right, Robert.
Just one single week I had 3 different mothers coming to me, young lads, 17, 18, who were totally caught up with the legal highs, were starting to rob their houses. One woman even had lost her wedding ring and her engagement ring that the child had taken and pawned, you know, to get money, and they just didn't know where to turn. And the kids at that stage, you just couldn't have talked to them.
In many ways, they need a good wake-up call, you know. And I think that some of the deaths recently, I think that's brought about a lot of very positive action, because the communities just don't want to see these deaths again.
Irrespective of whether it's a Republican, Nationalist, Loyalist, Unionist community, we all have the same problems.
Drugs doesn't recognise an interface.
What is it like out there?
I think it's rife in our communities. You know, it's like hereditary sometimes in some of the families. Maybe the mummy or the daddy had took drugs, so I mean, it falls on to the siblings. But it's frightening to see how many kids become entwined in all that. You know, people are taking drugs so openly now, and that's the scary part of it. And you know, I often hear people saying that it's only a wee bit of blow. No matter what way you look at it, it's a drug, and it can lead on to other drugs.
The big problem is that the amount of which young people are taking, and also the combinations. So I think that the one common denominator we're seeing in a lot of the people who are being put in danger is that they're mixing that many substances together.
Okay.
You know, it's drink plus legal highs plus prescription medication plus whatever else.
So it's like a cocktail of everything, like?
A cocktail of everything.
I remember one local parent who had lost a son to suicide had been adamant that it was legal highs that had been part of contributing to the young lad's death. But then, nearly as an aside, you hear that on the same night that he was taking the legal highs, oh, by the way, he was also smoking cannabis and drinking alcohol.
You would sort of think that kids would be aware of that, you know, you know. But I mean, I wasn't really aware of, you know, the whole danger of it. I knew there was a bit of a, you know, danger in it, but you know, to sort of make it publicise it that wee bit more.
I think there's a will on both sides to tackle the drug problem. What we got to do is we got to educate the population on the dangers of mixing drugs together. Unfortunately, we've seen people lose their lives because of not understanding fully what happens when they take all those drugs together.
Not much, man, not much.
Paul's meeting Darren to discuss his concern that Lee is becoming too dependent on his prescription medication.
Lee wasn't in a good place. He was so nervous and anxious about not having the medication in him that he foreseen some trouble. Like, he was telling me that if he didn't get it soon, it's not going to be good in the hospital.
And that's the thing. If you believe something is going to happen down the line, there's a fair chance you'll live your way towards it. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it was one of my concerns.
For many of our clients, there's a fear that it's too scary to actually get off the drugs because their life's going to be empty without what they've known as their best friend, or as their best coping mechanism, their best strategy to deal with loneliness and to deal with isolation and to deal with rejection and all of the other things that people choose to use their drugs for. Is there any opportunity down the line to work with him around his own responsibilities and his own skills and his own assertiveness and his own self-control and his own discipline when it comes to himself, you know,
Yeah,
eventually
so
taking his own medication.
We're going to have to look at that because he still has a hard time accepting how well he's done.
Perfect.
Looking back from where you sit now, are you in a better place here now? Or do you want to go back down to the same road where you're crying out for help and you're not getting it?
I'm still in that chaotic position.
You think you are?
In a way, I am.
Paul wants Lee to confront his dependence on prescription drugs.
You've come back to these meetings, you've stayed sober, you've done so much stuff. So I want you for one thing to say for me, and from now on, not that I can't, say, not right now,
You're punching below the belt.
because you're doing so well. So stop saying I can't. And it'll be. I know how.
I don't because it's been.
I know how, buddy. You can change you.
Well,
and changing you will change your life.
I've had people try. You know what I mean?
No, man,
you can try.
Give this stupid American a chance.
Give it a try.
Give me a chance. Lee has lived a very full life. Right? We'll work it out.
Oh, Jesus, he's going to have me saying that now.
That definition of yourself, that you are a tough guy and you have to perform certain tasks to remain tough, it's hard to break that when that's the only belief system that you have. You having a crisis?
Oh, well, crisis every day.
Well, call me every day. All right, man. For Lee to be able to actually openly talk about the fact that he wouldn't choose to be sober, totally sober, just actually him saying that is an opening for me to work on that, because I think that once he sees that there is a life out there for him without the drugs, he will be willing to take small steps towards it. So I think it's a positive thing just to be able to talk about it.
2 days later, Lee was arrested and charged after an altercation. He's been put on remand in Maghaberry Prison.
In everybody's recovery process, there is between 5 to 7 to 15 turn-offs, relapses that we all experience. And it's such a vital part of recovery, because people tend to say they can white-knuckle it. They can just wake up on a Monday or choose a date, New Year's Day or their birthdays, and say, this is my last day of doing something. It doesn't work like that. Body needs time to withdraw. The mind needs time to adapt to new circumstances.
Until his court case is over, Paul and Darren will continue to work with Lee while he's in jail.
Our role is to just constantly be there, showing him that there is an alternative, show him that there is a path to sobriety, and not be judgmental.
That was the photographs that I collected from South Belfast.
FASA and other community agencies have been invited to a private meeting at Stormont.
I know the face.
The Chief Medical Officer, Michael McBride, has asked for a briefing on the community fallout from the drug deaths.
I just want to hear from you at first hand, on the ground.
The meeting has been positive.
We look at illicit substances and working with the PSNI, putting protocols in place, which we have and we do. And it's about us all collectively working together, police, Department of Health and the community sector, to work on the demand side and work on the supply side and see what we can do to assist in helping with that.
How difficult is it to work in a world where you're navigating around that whole paramilitary underworld?
I suppose the difficulty has been, trying to convince those people that, yes, there's a lot of money to be made in the drugs trade, but, equal to the damage that was done in our communities over the 30 years of violence, drugs were going to have this similar, if not a worse impact, if we didn't stop them coming in. So we asked them to engage with us at a level at which we tried to remove drugs out of the closed communities that many of the young people we were working with at the time came from.
Did you just accept that there were paramilitaries and you just worked with them?
Yes, absolutely. Much like the police do and the government do on a daily basis.
So I just talked to, oh my God, there he is, the man himself. What's up, man?
It's crack. All good?
How are you, man? No bars, nothing?
No.
You're looking good.
Not for a couple of hours.
Yeah, good man.
Lee's been granted bail for just 2 hours. To get released on full bail, he must have somewhere to live, so FASA has organised an interview with a housing association.
Well, when's that going to happen anyway?
Lee must convince them he's a suitable tenant.
How are you going to answer these questions?
Honestly.
Awesome. And you're going to just be very calm?
Just be calm about it all.
And be your charismatic self?
Yeah.
Yep. You know, I know what to do. I talk to my cat.
I'm a calm person anyway.
Is there anything you want to tell me about yourself that I don't already know?
I'm a good character.
Yeah.
I'm a good character. I'm not the worst in the world, you know. Just try and get on with it.
I'm definitely confident in his abilities to become his best self. So I definitely advocate for him.
Okay. When are you being released?
As soon as you say, if you
As soon as I say yes?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Hopefully. Pray, come on. Give me some luck in my life.
All right, thank you very much, Wilma. No, it's great news. Thank you so much. All right.
I got him.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right, Wilma, thank you so much. He's really happy. All right, thank you very much. Bye. You got it, man.
Monday.
You got it. That's great. All right. All right, let's go get you in. Come on.
Don't.
All right, take care. All right, thank you. All right, thank you, sir.
No worries. Oh, I'll be in contact Monday.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to work out, buddy. It's a very, very good day for me, personally, and for Fasa.
Lee has been granted bail.
So we're good, man.
Aye, sweet.
All right.
Aye. Well, we're doing it these after.
You excited?
Oh, aye.
Paul's just picked Lee up from jail and brought him to his new flat.
Oh.
Here you go, big guy. This is your place. How's it feel?
Sweet. Smells cleaner than the cell would.
What?
Smells cleaner than the cells in.
Unfortunately, Lee is high at the moment. He just got out of prison, and he, whether he bought drugs illegally or not in prison, he showed up high.
What time is it?
7:30, I think. Let me just check.
I need to go and get something to eat.
It's disheartening for me as a professional. I feel like, you know, Lee's really not taking this thing seriously. He's really going to go down the same path, but all I can do is just be here and support him. You know, I've driven him from the prison to here. I'm going to take him for dinner.
Right? I don't think before doing the accents. I have to learn that. That's one thing to work on.
I want to be very honest with you, man, all right?
Right.
I'm a little concerned about if you're taking this thing seriously.
What?
Your health.
I am?
Yeah?
Give me 2 weeks.
I'd give you 2 years, buddy. It's up to you, man. What are you going to give yourself?
Credit, that's what I mean.
In the past, man, when we were working together, we were trying to build a support thing for you. You were still getting high. You told me you weren't. So
Not
what?
Again,
So tell me.
again,
So tell me
again.
now. Tell me now. What's
It's to chill my
different for
nerves.
me now?
It's to chill my nerves. It's to chill my nerves.
So if I see you this week and you tell me, yeah, Paul, I'm clean,
I'll be
why
honest.
would I believe you? This?
I'm
I
sure
hope
go
so.
there with.
So I don't want to give up on you, man.
How would he have got hold of those drugs?
I have never met one stupid addict, because when you have that addiction, no matter where you are in the world, you will get high. Prison is by no means a barrier for getting high.
Tickety boo, huh?
Tickety boo, man. Tickety boo. All right, man. Take care, man. I love you, buddy.
Thank you very
All
much
right,
for
man?
the day, Paul.
No
Thank
problem, man. You start thinking good about yourself,
I'll
okay?
go to the door with you.
All right.
What are the Canadian people?
I mean, I see myself in Lee. You know, I was there. You know, I struggled. When you see someone and you can have empathy for them and you can see yourself in them, all you want to do is reach out your hand. So there is no giving up. You do the best you can.
Two days later, Darren and Paul meet Lee again.
So, Lee, what's the crack?
Where are we going first?
You seem a bit tipsy on it, chum. And you must have took something.
That's a low solo.
Couldn't get any worse?
You can't get any worse. Safer in the box.
And you know yourself, John, that's where it's heading.
I felt like it.
So, mate, where are you at the minute then? You've got your wee
My
flat.
head's right at my hole.
And is that the way it's always going to be?
Would you rather feel down, or would you rather feel happy?
I'd rather feel happy.
Right? Then if I don't take drugs, I'm down. What can I do now? What can I do? Everything I do it right, but it always does it wrong.
The fact that you're sitting here having a cry, that's good.
I grew up too quick. That's just wrong with me, too quick.
But you're only 21.
21, my life's ruined already.
Your life's only beginning. Yeah.
Really? Serious?
Is this one of the worst you've seen him?
Yeah. You know, it truly is the worst. The worst I've seen him, yeah. Not just in the state that he's in with his intoxication, but just how low he is at a point of emotions, how dejected he's starting to feel. Right turn.
Lee asks for a lift to his mum's to pick up savings he had asked her to keep so he wouldn't spend it on drugs or alcohol.
Lee, she says the money's been put away until you get better. She doesn't have any money at the minute.
I can put everyone day in the house. Give us a phone.
No, no.
Give us a phone, please, Don.
Well, he wants a quick word with you. Just a wee second.
Why? I'm on my way over to your house now, so I am. Well, I'll kick your door. I'm kicking your door up a hall and I'm taking everything in the house. You steal my money. Get my money over here now, or I'll burn your house to the ground. Just get the money over. Get the money over now. I'm finished with you. I'm finished with you. Just get the money over to me. I'm on my way over now. Hang on. I'm on my way over.
There. Lee, wait a wee second.
Yeah.
Lee. Lee.
I'm worried. You know, when's this going to end? Where's it going to end? You know, there's a bottom for most addicts that they hit and they realize I can't go any further.
I'm not sure what he's at now. He's standing across. He turned right at the end of the street there, now he's turned left.
Unfortunately for a lot of people, the bottom is death. And there's no coming back from that. And Lee at the moment, I just don't think has grasped the fact that he has potential to live.
Where are you going?
1 week later, Lee was returned to jail for breaking his bail conditions.
Good morning, you're through to Michael at FASA. How may I help you? May I ask who's calling?
With no further news about the drug deaths, there is a growing tension in the community.
Yeah, hi, this is Paul from FASA. How are you? So he's threatening to end his life at the moment? You want to put him on the phone with me?
Sure. So if you want to call me back, 1980 Thank you.
I got a crisis call from a mother who has a son in the car who's threatening to end his life. The mother heard about our services on the radio regarding the legal highs that have been an epidemic in the Belfast area. During a conversation with her son, he admitted that he was using these legal highs and his life was out of control.
FASA and other agencies have successfully helped lobby for a public awareness campaign to warn about the dangers of mixing drugs.
FASA have kindly drafted up a few images that I'd just like to pass around and be interested in everybody's comments.
Alex is helping shape the campaign along with representatives from the PSNI, the Public Health Agency, Belfast City Council and other agencies.
The agreement at the last meeting was that we would try and develop a picture or an image maybe around the drug deaths that have happened across the city, and also possibly that FASA would go away and try and do some local images.
This one here I think appeals to me in the sense that if this could be brighter, the reality of just the image of the child so much in the forefront and just reaching down amongst all this, reaching down for something like this with a wee football in the hand. That to me is a motive.
We can do a photo shoot with lighting and everything else. That was just very quick, taking someone out.
This one here, A8, I think that's brilliant.
One of the strongest things we need to tackle here is that people are dying on the streets of Northern Ireland from these drugs. I think it's getting that into that psyche of the drug users who think, you know, it'll never happen to me or my mates.
It's hard.
The crucial thing for us is that the information that we provide and gather needs to get to the people who are in danger. And, you know, by doing things like today, you know, you got to go through those strategic groups and get that message to them so that ultimately, you know, on a wider scale, on a bigger scale, that message does get out and ultimately save lives.
How's you, big lad? Good seeing you. Not sleep very well last night?
Nah. Plastic mattresses.
We'll go down into room 3, out of the way. Here,
I'll be right down, okay, boy?
The amount of thinking you do 23 hours a day. Should have done that wrong, shouldn't have done that, should have done this. And there's nothing really going to do. It's, as you say, it's a new slate now.
Definitely. And that's a lovely way to look at it. You know, not an awful lot you can do about the past.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's a clean slate. There's nothing hanging over you now.
What's a good thing about your past, buddy, is that you learn from it.
It's strange, you know, so I'm having to get them steps and get to do things and things that I haven't done sober in a long time.
Yeah.
So I have to get, the hang of it.
The things you can do it, leave you put your mind to it, man. You've got so much willpower and dedication.
Well, before I wanted to do it for everybody else, you know, didn't want to do it myself. I really didn't, you know. I was selfish. It was stupid.
You gotta start loving yourself, man. Doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's a day, one
day at a time, big guy.
It's always a good day to see a client who's turned over a new leaf. There will be more lows, there will be more highs, but I think it'll plateau to a certain extent where Lee will have a bit of balance, a bit of stability. But I know that if he continues in this direction, his life's going to be immense.
The reality is, when someone is continually coming back and asking for help, we as professionals have to be there to light those sparks. And inevitably, Lee's going to get it one day. It's the unfortunate people that, for whatever reason, don't reach out and feel that their current situation is a permanent situation with no other way out but self-harming to the utmost level of taking their own life. So no matter how many times Lee will call or any of our clients will engage with us and disengage and then want to be re-engaged, when that phone rings, we answer.
Hello, FASA, Michelle speaking. Hello? Hi, it's FASA, you called us? Okay, have you ever been to FASA before?
Next time on Watch Over Me.
What else would make you feel safe?
Sitting in a corner.
Okay.
With a blanket over my head and wishing the world would go away.
What's the life that Alan has, that Alan wants?
You actually settled down, having your own family.
Wow.